is working pretty hard, doing things like constructing or maintaining our space station, pretty important things. And as you're working and maintaining our space station, you're going to be building up your metabolic rate. Your heart's going to beat faster, partially because you're really excited to see the Earth passing by underneath you, but also because you're doing incredible work for our NASA mission. So what Maori has here is our liquid cooling and ventilation garment. We love to put you in tight spandex. And so this is your undergarment. You wear it over your own personal undergarments. And you can see that there's tubing running through the garment. And through that tubing we run nice cold water. Very, very refreshing. The astronaut can maintain or regulate the temperature going through that garment using the front of their spacesuit displays, which is the temperature control valve right here. We do not have hot water in the suit, we only have cold water, but the great thing about this is it's true heat transfer at its best. As you're building up metabolic heat, you're heating up the water running through the garment, and so if you're getting colder and colder, you can actually turn this valve down and just recirculate the water going through the garment so that you're heating it up. Heat transfer, gotta love it. Then if you get a little too hot, you can turn the valve the other direction and you can start pulling from the water tank that's inside your life support system, getting nice, cold, refreshing water.
Next we have the communication carrier assembly. This is how they talk to each other. They can talk to the other crew member that's out on the EVA with them, the crew members that are back inside the vehicle, inside the station or the shuttle, and they can also talk to mission control down in Houston. Again, we put them in tight spandex and a really attractive hat that fits right over their head. A little hat hair, but that's okay. It's got two independent earphones on both sides. They're kind of old school, they fit right over your ear. And then two independent microphones that go right up against your mouth like a rock star. Over the communication carrier assembly is the helmet. And this protects the astronaut's head. Obviously, it holds everything in together. It's got 2 layers of plastic. But when you're on the 45 minutes of sun side, sometimes it's too bright, so you can put down your spacesuit sunglasses and shield the sun, just like we do here on Earth. Then if it's really bright, you can pull down these visors. And then if that completely blocks out the sun, just like if you're driving in the car, you want to completely block out the sun.
So the part of the spacesuit that you can't see, but it is truly the keystone or centerpiece of our puzzle that is a spacesuit, is the hard upper torso. And it goes from the neck ring that you see here down to the waist ring right here. And it is truly the puzzle piece. We connect every piece of the suit to it. Our spacesuit design is very, very modular. We can size the suit to fit about 5th to 9th percentile human beings. That's a large variety of all shapes and sizes, just like that. And so we connect that hard upper torso to the various pieces of the suit so that the suit stays together as a good, robust, reliable system.
On the front of the hard upper torso is the display and control module, and this is how we display information and control things. We like to put it right there in the title for you. And so you can control the pressure, like Heather said earlier, the temperature, the water running through your liquid cooling environment, the volume of your communication carrier assembly, everything you need is right there in the access.
And then on the back of the hard upper torso is, of course, what I would personally say is the most important part of the spacesuit, because it's your life support. That's the number 1 reason. The number 2 reason is because that's the part that we work on, so we like it. So the life support system it's about 2/3 the weight of the suit. The suit fully loaded with all of the consumables is approximately 300 pounds. So you better start working out. And it has all of your primary and secondary life support for the oxygen. So primary life support is pressurizing the suit, giving you that nice oxygen that we need to breathe. Secondary oxygen, in case something goes wrong with the suit, we have high pressure oxygen that will flood the suit and keep you alive for about 30 minutes. And then of course your cooling water for the liquid cooling garment, your battery power, your communications, everything you need to survive during your spacewalk, which typically lasts anywhere from 6 to 7 to 8 hours depending on what we're doing. This particular mission, our 4 spacewalks, will range about 6 hours to 6.5.
Moving on down, we've got the gloves. The gloves are pretty important. Next to the life support, which is keeping you alive, the gloves are the next most important piece because the astronauts are doing most everything with their hands. We call it the spacewalk, but they're not really walking. And so they're doing everything with their hands. Their hands are like their hands and their feet for the mission. And so the gloves, what goes over the hands, has to fit really well. And so we do lots of different glove fit checks. So this is the inner layer of the glove. This is the bladder. This is what holds the pressure. And then this goes over that, and that's the restraint layer. We like to keep you at like a human-shaped balloon. So you have your fingers and everything. And this is how we do a lot of the fitting. We can adjust each the finger lengths, the width, everything, so that your glove fits just as well as we can get it before you go out and do all the work in space. And then this is the outside layer, which is the thermal micrometeorite garment. which is what you see all over the whole spacesuit. And this protects the astronaut's hands, obviously, from the temperature. Like if the handrail, for example, is out in the sun and gets really hot, this protects the touch temperature so the astronaut doesn't feel that.
And moving down, we have the lower torso assembly. Of course, we can just call it pants, we might call it the LTA. But it is a pretty important part of the assembly. You have a waist bearing right here, and that's going to provide you with that twist and shout movement that you see the astronauts doing during their EVAs. But the lower torso assembly doesn't need to provide you with a lot of mobility, because even though we call it a spacewalk, you're really not walking, you're floating. So the best thing I can tell you about the lower torso assembly is this is one of the ways that we identify our crew members. So we're going to have Drew out in the red stripes, Mike in the whites, and then Greg in the broken red and white, or what I like to call the peppermint patty, red and white stripes on the leg. So when you're watching the EVAs, as I know all of you will meticulously, all 6 to 6.5 hours, absolutely every moment, every single moment, you guys are going to be well versed on the spacesuit, but you'll also know who you're watching, which is very important, guys.
So these are the components that make up the current suit. Like I said, this is what the astronauts will be wearing on these 4 spacewalks for this mission. But we're working on next generation spacesuit. And so we're pretty excited because we're building an awesome suit. It's going to keep them alive. It's smaller. It's lightweight. It's more robust, more efficient. We've got cool new materials and new configurations for the spacesuit. So no matter where we go after shuttle retires, we are ready and building an awesome suit to get us there.
That's right, we're very excited actually. We're getting ready to test the first integrated life support system in 37 years. So this suit technology has been around for long before Valerie and I started working here, and we've been maintaining it and refurbishing it. It's been doing wonderful. But it is time, as we look to new destinations, that we're going to need more efficient, lighter weight, more robust systems. So that's exactly what we do with our team. We have a large team of engineers, scientists, astronauts, doctors, pretty much you name it. And our life support system that we're designing right now, it's on a huge rack. So right now it's not ready to be packaged into the backpack just yet, but all of the technology inside of it has been minimized essentially. So it's lighter weight, lower volume, and lower power, so we can drive down battery size. First test of integrated lift step in 37 years, that's a huge accomplishment. And then in about 1.5 or 2 years, we're planning to squeeze it down even more into a backpack design, and then start our integrated testing eventually onto human testing. On the pressure garment side, which is the part that really looks like the human being, there's mostly a lot of materials development. Depending on where you go, it's going to determine what kind of insulation you need, what kind of outer layer you need to protect from the soil, the regolith, or the asteroid material. So we're looking at a lot of different materials. We're also looking at more mobility features, lighter weight composite bearings, so that you can move more naturally like you do when you're not wearing a spacesuit. And so a lot of research is going on right now to make this system much more integrated, much more mobile than we even saw during the Apollo missions. And what's really awesome about it is that our entire team is just ready to go wherever NASA tells us to go, whether it's a near Earth orbit, asteroid, whether it's Mars, whether it's the moon, some distant destination. We're building a suit that's going to take us there, and we're very excited to share that with you. So I want to wish you guys the best of luck as you're tweeting up. I know, again, everyone's going to put their hand up in the air and say, yes, Heather, I will be watching those EVAs. Yes, everyone nod your head for me. There you go. Okay, very good. And please do come up and talk to us. We would love to meet every single one of you, just like Seth's going to run around with this poster. We may run up to you and be like, so you want to know about the spacesuit? So please do come talk to us. We're Heather and Mallory. Thank you so much, and enjoy your time here.
And no man had ever flown before. It was a few days before Christmas 1968 when Apollo 8 sat on the pad. She was the first of a new kind.